I am so excited to have you here, Laura. If you want to be inspired, listen to this beautiful interview. She's a second generation entrepreneur, community builder, and a faith-based leader who's dedicated to designing and encouraging communities and events for women. Um, Laura, at the beginning of my journey, that was the way I started building my confidence, organizing events.
Yeah, it definitely brings out this kind of quiet leader within us
Mm,
when we're either handed the role or we take on the role of, bringing people together and building something that is meant to either inspire people, encourage people, or just simply put them in the same room together for things to happen.
mm,
I know it
oh,
was
wow.
something that for me, I wasn't that confident with for a very long time, but I learned that through growing up. My parents, they own their own business. My mom, she was the party planner. She was doing events and excuse me, putting things together and hosting things. And, you know, I just loved being able to help out and to watch. So I think
That's
that's
where you got the
really
bug.
I think that's where I got that bug. And I love getting to talk to people like this, just either interview style or getting a group together and doing something fun.
Mm. Well, I started my journey as an entrepreneur here in the UK, and I knew absolutely nobody.
Hmm.
So I started going to those kind of events that you organize where the communities come together. And although I was so shy and so introvert, sitting at the back and not being able to speak the language well enough, and
Hmm.
but it was so wonderful to hear other women speak and share their stories. It was so wonderful um, to listen to their journeys and learn from their mistakes. It was like what you do is
Hmm.
actually really powerful. So, what would be your advice to anyone who's starting in the entrepreneurial world? How could they use events as their platform to start their journeys?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's one of those things we love to be invited into events, whether it's something you're personally hosting or if it's something that you're attending, like there's that
Mm,
invite that has to happen. If you wanted to host an event or something to get to know people, it's really good and really fun and easy to, you know, reach out to people that you may already know, or even if you're reaching out to people that you've never met yet. It's kind of this icebreaker where you're saying,
mm,
hi, I have this event. Here's what it's about. And here are my ideas and dreams and hopes for this event, because that's an inspiration point. If they can connect with that and they're thinking, wow, that sounds amazing, or I need that, or that sounds like a place that I want to be, they will want to say yes to that invitation most likely.
So, do you
And
help people organize their events? So, what do you do exactly? Tell us.
yeah, well, I focus a lot on the marketing and the planning of how you set up your event, as well as how you market it out into the online space or wherever it is that you're doing it, whether it is online or whether it's in person.
Mm.
Because there's different steps and ways that we want to put those invitations out there, that we want to gather excitement and
So,
generate
do you
some.
create like a strategy plan for them?
Yeah, yeah. We work together on building out a strategy, something that works for them, because there are different types of people, and some love to go out and promote and talk it up really a lot. Where there's others that are maybe more introverted and quiet, and they're like, I don't really know how, I'm not the talkative person to go out and really amp up a lot of energy for my event. And there's ways that
Mm.
if you connect with maybe your inner circle and kind of use some of their pull, their energy, their excitement, it's almost like leveraging other people to help promote your event. So that way it gets more energy and publicity around it too.
Mm. Well, it's one way of it's well, the events is one strategy to grow a business, and that's
Yes.
what you are promoting, and it is totally true.
Mhm.
I do use events as my stepping points. I use it as where I speak to my audience. I
Mhm.
share my knowledge. So, what would be your advice to someone who is starting and decided that events were their way to find their leads and find their ideal clients?
Hmm. I think the biggest thing is really knowing what you want to accomplish with
Mm,
those events. Getting down to the core of like, why am I hosting this? What am I really passionate about bringing people together for some specific event? If it's like, so let's say you're a coach and you help people with their mindset and stuff, you want to be able to maybe build an event that gives them a lot of tools and gives them a lot of insight that they can either start using right away or walk away with, but also
mm,
can build that community. Because a lot of times, if we're doing events and things, maybe we're a one on one coach or we have some one on one service, we
mm,
want maybe to lead people into that as well. So it's also an opportunity for us to showcase our own expertise, or we can bring in the expertise of others and have guest speakers as well.
mm.
You can do events so many different ways. It can just be very informative, or it can
Absolutely.
be more of a workshop.
So what are
And,
the, like, what would be the three top questions that they need to answer to get the ball rolling?
yeah, I would say the three top questions would be, like, what is my event for? Like, what's the purpose of it? What are people going to walk away with or hopefully get from this event? Two, what is the ideal outlet for this event? Like, how am I going to host it? Where's it going to be? What type of platform is it going to be on? Is it going to be in person? Knowing where you're going to do it and kind of the structure of how you want to do it. And then knowing what type of people are ideal for this event. I think once you know those three things, you can really hit the ground running of why you're doing it, what result or solution you want to present, and
Mm,
then knowing who the ideal person is for this event, because then you know exactly who to talk to in your
where to
marketing of
and
this
where
event
to
is for.
promote it and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, and where to promote it and where it's going to be, where you're going to house it, so that way it's easy to bring people in because you know exactly, okay, this is where it is, this is how it's going to happen. Because most of the time people are going to have those questions of like, well, how does it go on, what does it do, all that good stuff.
Oh, sorry, I don't know what's happened there again.
You're fine. I think you took me off.
Oops. There you go. Back on again.
All right.
So when you said you help your clients to organize the best events. It's really good to have a coach like you, a mentor like you to guide through, because you can easily miss the smallest
Hmm.
detail that could be so crucial to your event. But you said you do in person and online. Do you actually have to be there to help somebody to guide their event?
No, you
Just
don't
in
have to.
person.
Because I've done some online events and I work with a volunteer committee here in my community and we host a annual event. And
Mm,
so it's just one of those things. Once you kind of start doing events, you know, sort of this lineup and what all you need to have in place. And if it's, say, I was working with someone in a different country or a different state, we'd probably be talking about a lot of the same strategies of, okay, where are you hosting your event? What are the
mm,
things that you're going to publicize or put out into the community to bring awareness to your event? How are you going to market it? Are you going to use like radio ads or word of mouth? You're going to send out actual physical invitations. So I don't necessarily have to be in the exact same space, as long
mm,
as they're able to do a lot of that legwork themselves, or maybe even have someone that can assist them with that.
mm. Beautiful. It's really good because it's so important to have a like a blueprint. It's like a map when you go on holiday. You follow a
Yeah.
map, you have a little. It's really good, and it actually helps you um, deliver the most
Hmm.
valuable event that your clients,
Hmm.
ideal clients want, and your friends want, even if it's your wedding. It takes the stress
Yeah.
away, doesn't it?
Yeah. Exactly. And when we talk about events, it's not just maybe like a one-off event that I help people with, because a lot of the entrepreneurs that I work with, they even do programs and masterminds and like group coaching and things like that. And that and essentially is just a long-term event. So I even help them with building out those of like, what's that client experience that they want? What's that
Mm,
brand that they're building a reputation for? So it all plays in hand in hand. It's not just solely like one-time events that we've got to do a 30, 60, 90-day launch for. It can even be those 3 to 6 month group programs or masterminds or things that they're wanting to put out there as well.
Um, you always talk about like when women organize and design community events
Mhm.
or online events, you encourage them to be true self. Why do you say that?
Because, when you're hosting something, whether it's, a program or it's an event, in a way, it's an extension of you.
Hmm.
If you're putting it out there, you're doing so much to raise awareness for it. And a lot of times people like to know, okay, who's behind putting this event together? What's the reason behind putting it together? And when you can kind of paint that picture or tell that story, then you're able to connect with people in much different ways instead of just showing up for, you know, let's say a weekend retreat event. When they get to know that deeper meaning of like, here's why this was put together. Say, it was born out of, I saw a lack and, there was something that I didn't have that I knew would have helped me to, gain my confidence, improve my mindset or something. When they can connect with those things, then they're more drawn to come and connect with the people at those events or inside of, those masterminds or whatever it is,
It is
when they
so
can really see
true.
through you what
It's
that
so
purpose is.
true. Honestly, it's so true because I have made those mistakes in the past. I used to organize events. I would just invite any woman, and then there was always disconnection between the crowd
Hmm.
because they were either there because they knew of me, they were either there because their friends told them they need to be there. But in the core of it, there was a misalignment with the crowd, and it was always very successful, but I found myself drawn to make sure everybody was happy,
Yeah.
because everybody was there for different reasons, instead of
Mhm.
it was for one reason, and I've learned hard way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's easier to bring in the people who understand your ideas
Mm,
for what it is that you're putting out there. Whereas if you're just trying to get anybody and everybody, you're like, well, they all need something different. And it's really hard to
mm,
cater to all those different needs. Whereas if okay, this is the need that I'm solving, that I'm giving something to, then the people that have that need, those are the people that you want to bring into that event or that community.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Well, it's really good to hear another entrepreneur who also believes and uses events as a strategy to grow a business, and you as someone who's there to help coach, design, and promote and market their events.
Mhm.
It's a really great collaboration, I would say.
Thank you. Thank you. I do enjoy it, and it was one of those things that I started out and didn't really see myself doing, but as time progressed, I thought, okay, I really want to step into this because this is very needed. As much as I do with branding and design work, I've started to grow like a small Facebook group that has, it's nothing but branding tips. Like I get in there and give you, information on how to build some of the design stuff, but there's so much that happens on the inside, like that inner work that we go through of what we're building and that reputation we put out that is not
Mm,
always seen, but it's that those things that are felt from other people, those things that people hear from you, and that is essentially a huge part of your brand, not just the way that it looks, but the way that people truly perceive it, how they hear about it, how they feel it, the emotions that we connect with, and the energy that kind of leaves
But
us and transpires to others.
your main offerings are really helping people design
Hmm.
promotional graphics and things for their events. Is that,
Yes. Yes. I
yeah,
help them design their promotional graphics and we set up their strategies for how they're going to use those as well.
line them up and then post
Mhm.
them in the right platforms?
Yeah, exactly. And we even go so far as to helping them do that implementation where we help them execute that strategy as well. Because I know that depending on where you're at, you may have a lot of time in your business that you can spend putting things out there, but you may also have, you know, not a lot of time to do that, or you want to free up that time for other things.
Hmm,
Um, so that we can help you like put that out into your social media, send that out in your emails, all that good stuff. So you're not just
beautiful.
left to do it all on your own, we definitely want to help you.
Beautiful. I love hearing your baby at the background. It just reminds me of my days. My son is now 5 at school. I'm going to go pick him up
Mhm.
after my interviews are finished. It's so
Nice.
wonderful. It shows the entrepreneurial, like women entrepreneurs, how we are so good at. Oh, pick her up, pick her up. It's cute. It's so easy to we are such good. We're so good at actually building. Hello, gorgeous. Hi. Yes. Oh, baby. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Laura has been so good. Thank you sharing your knowledge and thank you sharing your experience and expertise on importance of events and gifting your graphic as a free gift to our listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And I just appreciate, what it is that you're doing with helping, to inspire and build confidence in more entrepreneurs and more women. And I think that's super important. And
Hmm.
I would have to say, I was listening to a little bit of your conversation before with whoever was on here. And one of the things that I read as I was listening to that was this quote by Cedric Weber. And it said, "If we can unplug from the voices of others, we will begin to hear the hum of our own truth." And I believe we
Beautiful.
have confidence inside of us. We just
That
have
gives
to
me
quiet the noise
goosebumps.
and listen to it.
Beautiful. That was so beautiful. That's exactly what we want every single woman to do, to plug those other people's noises so we can hear our inner hum. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. I need to
Yeah, I
write
had to
that
share.
down. Thank you, Laura. It's been an
Thank you,
absolute pleasure
Elif.
having you.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
You too. How wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.